What is up, guys? In today's video, we are talking about an extremely rare and really weird severe weather risk in an area that we don't typically see severe weather and multiple days of flash flooding coming. Let's get right into this video. Now, what we are talking about in today's video is this enhanced risk of severe storms that we do have an effect that does include areas in northern Vermont, guys, northern New Hampshire, into portions of central and even northern Maine regions, into portions of Canada that are under the severe weather risk. You see it cuts off because the National Weather Service does not include Canada in their outlooks, but this is the whole area under the enhanced risk of severe weather that we do have in effect. This includes many areas on basically the border between Canada and the United States, including areas like Burlington, Montpelier in the risk, St. Albans, and then portions of rural areas of Maine, where we are going to see big time severe weather. And then we have a big time tornado threat with this too, 5% and a 10% significant risk for tornadoes, where we could have strong tornadoes in some of these regions. So if you are in any of these brown and yellow regions, make sure you are having a plan and be prepared today, as big time tornadoes are possible, as supercells could pose a risk for tornadoes. And we will also have big time straight line and damaging wind risk with this too. Definitely a very rare weather risk for this far north in the northeast. And we even could see hail. We don't really see hail in the northeast very often. This is basically Canada at this point, but areas almost as far south as Augusta, Montpelier, Burlington, Plattsburgh, Dover, and Foxcroft could see the risk for big time severe hail above 2 inches in diameter. So we could see hail, wind, and tornadoes all with this very significant severe weather threat that we do have today. Now, if we time these storms out, we have big time supercells developing here around 5 to 6 p.m., impacting areas like Montreal around the 6 to 7 to 8 p.m. time frame. And then around 8 to 9 p.m., these storms will start to move into portions of the northeast with big time tornado potential, especially on the border between the United States and Quebec, especially here in northern New Hampshire and western portions of Maine, where this is showing we could get some big time hail potential and even tornado potential with this. The significant tornado parameter is extremely high across these areas. I wouldn't be surprised if we see big time tornadoes with this in portions of these areas, potentially strong tornadoes. This is definitely a very unusual setup for this time of year. Well, just for these areas specifically, we don't see severe weather like this. And we have helicity tracks here. Look, we could see tornadoes move into the portions of southern Quebec, into the portions of the United States. So if you are in these regions, anywhere in this area, I would have a plan and be prepared, as big time damaging winds, tornadoes are also possible. Then we will have more supercells develop here close to Montreal and then move into the United States and Vermont, Burlington areas throughout the overnight hours, posing another risk for severe weather. So definitely a very unusual setup and a potentially big severe weather day that is coming. So have a plan and be prepared. Now another thing I want to mention is this significant flash flood threat that we do have in the Rio Grande areas in southern portions of Texas, southern and central and south central Texas areas. We are going to have constant moisture over these areas over and over again for days and days with training of storms. I mean, it's just going to be constant rainfall across these areas for days and days and days. The precipitable water index, I mean, dude, we're going to be seeing tropical moisture in these areas for a long, long time, for many days. If we look at the national blend of models, we can see how much rain we're going to get in these regions across the next few days. And this is showing across the next probably 4 days or so, we're going to be seeing nearly 5 inches of rain in the same area in the southern Rio Grande areas of Texas. Training of the same areas. That is a huge anomaly for the national blend of models to be showing that much dang rainfall. Insane to be showing that much rainfall. And if we look at the Weather Prediction Center, they are looking at this and have a high risk of flash flooding across areas like Del Rio, Uvalde, Leakey, and then a moderate risk across San Antonio. And this continues into tomorrow. Big Bend National Park, Sanderson, Del Rio, Eagle Pass, Uvalde, San Antonio regions, all under a moderate risk of flooding, and then a slight risk of flooding from Houston up to San Angelo and Austin regions. Continuing into day 3, 2 days from now, where Del Rio, Comstock, and Rock Springs are under a big time flash flooding threat. So it continues with moderate to high risks of flooding for 3 days in a row. That's how dang much rainfall these areas are going to get. So concentrating of storms with the same areas, a lot of rainfall. We're going to see some big time flooding. We already are. So definitely a big time concern for flooding in these areas around the Del Rio area, Uvalde, Leakey, and Rock Springs area. So make sure you are having a plan to be prepared over the next few days. Now, if we look at the temperatures across the United States, we've been seeing quite a lot of more average temperatures, but that will switch to a little bit more above average temperatures as we get into the later portions of the week, especially across much of the northern U.S. and the western part of the U.S., where we will be seeing a lot of above average temperatures. And that will be continuing for quite a long time, honestly, into July 21st. So the next week or so, we will have more above average temperatures and potentially temperature index values reaching 100 in some spots in these regions where we are going to see above average temperatures that will eventually flip into what it's showing more below average temperatures, as we're going to be seeing a lot of pattern flips here. But for the next few weeks or so, for the next week or so ish, we could definitely see more of that summertime heat that we are having right now. Alrighty, hope you guys did enjoy today's video. Not too much to talk about in today's video because the weather is definitely fairly cool on the quiet side right now compared to what it's been. Sorry I haven't posted a video in a while. I've been fairly busy so far during the summer, but I will be getting back